Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dot from Dot Me Now Coaching and Entertainment. For coaching, my links are down below. Spiritual readings down below. You know I have Galactic Akashic readings. You know what I'm saying? I have regular Akashic Soul readings that can help with different past lives on Earth or galactically and stuff like that. But luckily, I have a video about past lives. It's gonna help you if you don't want to get a session or just simply can't get a session. Some people, I know some of y'all want a session but can't really get one right now. I completely understand. This video will help you. You know what I'm saying? For anybody who wants to book, but the times I have listed don't work for you, let me know. I'll leave an email down below. Called Ask JDot. You can just text me on there. You can ask me anything on there actually. You know what I'm saying? You can send me whatever the fuck you want to. You know what I'm saying? I want to start. I want to leave my email way more on my video, so y'all can just ask me just random shit that you can't always ask through a comment, 'cause it might be a little bit personal. You know what I'm saying? So I have a Patreon down below. On Patreon, I actually have a whole PowerPoint on Patreon about reconnecting with your galactic heritage. Just a whole PowerPoint about how to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's mashed on Patreon though. Patreon's so fucking saucy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I promise if you join, you're gonna like what's on there. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? So if you've been feeling that call to join the Patreon, you're gonna like that shit. Social media is down below. Everything's down below, bro. Discord down below. Let's get into this video, man. Oh, drop a like too. Do not be stingy. And I'm saying that because if you don't want people to be stingy with you, you're going to have to show the world that you're not a stingy person and just drop a like real quick. If you're new, subscribe because this channel is fire. I have a whole playlist about reawakening your spirit to your spiritual nature and all that shit. So yeah, it's real saucy over here. But inside this video, I'm gonna talk about the importance of past lives, how your past lives relate to the physical, common ways that your past lives pop up, how to awaken to your past lives, and how to regain your abilities and work through past life karmas. So let's get right into it, right? Like I said, drop a like. If you didn't drop that like yet, you kind of tripping, bro. Hey, hey, drop that like, my guy. Subscribe if you're new. Let's get into this video. So here is why past lives are important. I want to actually let me move because I have notes on my computer. I'm about to move the notes closer to my freaking my main monitor. So here we go. So look, the importance of past lives, right? You see, people could get lost inside their past lives and not grounded back to the earth. And one big thing about me is that I always make your past lives relate to the earthly experience. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's some galactic shit, some human shit. For everybody who has had a session with me, y'all know that I always tell y'all shit. You're like, yo, that makes so much sense. I be doing da 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 now. I'm like, yeah, it should be that way. It's not just no spooky dooky woo woo shit. You know what I'm saying? So number one is that past lives, right? They actually show you why you are how you are, right? Like there's so many times I did a reading for somebody and it's like their past lives dead ass line up with who they are now. Even if I'm going like for example with the galactic ones, right? I could see different stars, see like maybe you're Lyran, you have some Syrian, some Draco, whatever the fuck, right? And it's like every single part that I talk about always somehow relates to who you are now and why you are how you are right now. You know what I'm saying? So past lives actually show you that. They also show you your common gifts, abilities, and the common personality that you kind of have. Your personality is your way of expressing yourself, and you express yourself based upon the information you express yourself heavily based upon the information which is inside of your soul, which comes from your past lives. Of course, your family's going to influence you. Of course, outside life influences you, but understand this: even the way that life influences you is going to also depend upon the information inside your soul. Because, for example, two people may grow up the same exact way and have the same influences, but they get influenced inside different ways because the way that you are on a soul level really does affect how you interpret information, how you process it, how you express it outside of yourself. Your past lives, dead ass, play a big part to who you are now. It should not be no separate spooky dooky woo woo shit. It should always relate to who you are now, which is why I always make it relate to who you are right now when I do my readings, right? they show your common gifts and abilities, right? Like people are naturally drawn to just do certain shit. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm tapping a lot into my musical side, and I'm actually rapping more because my Anunnaki past lives, I was doing that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of modern day hip hop comes from the Anunnaki. I hope y'all know that. People be thinking that aliens do what humans do. No, bro. Humans do what aliens do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I always been drawn to magic also because I have Egyptian past lives. You know what I'm saying? I'm like you're drawn to certain shit because you've done this back in the past, obviously, right? They also show you common issues that you face along with your general path with inside your life. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I operate inside of my life is how I operate a lot inside my past lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I noticed that I like to be more of an observer to people, and I like when people come to me more opposed to me just directly being inside their face. Like I make a YouTube video teaching some shit, but I don't always just like, for example, inside Discord, right? I don't always just talk inside there like that. Most of the time, people come to me because in my past lives, I was more like that when people come to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I could output a certain video, right? Which is like me like sending out a call. Who needs me? And if you feel like you need me, just come here. Now, no one actually needs me, but I can help you with certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like to be a person where I just kind of observe shit. I see what's going on, and then if people need help, they kind of come to me more. You know what I'm saying? I operate like that a lot in my past lives. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it shows my general path of life and why I even act how I act. But it also with what I do, I love to teach because I've been a teacher in so many past lives, galactic and even on Earth. I have like teacher past lives on the Earth. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually about to work at a school now as an assistant teacher to like work with the kids more and help them out because I have past lives doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And like that was the perfect like people be hating on jobs, nigga. I never hated on jobs. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I didn't want to work at one for like a whole entire year to like so I could like build my abilities. Now that I built myself the fuck up, it's time to take over the fucking world. How do you take over the world? By messing with the kids, but not in a weird way. Like the kids are the next generation. If you make the kids become great, the next generation becomes great. You know what I'm saying? I had a whole plan with my shit. I'm very smart with how I do stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it always relates to my past lives. You know what I'm saying? Also, the common issues that I face inside my life come from past lives. Like my most recent relationship, right, was literally all karmic past life shit. Like once I started fully getting over that shit, I was seeing all the past life history, and I was seeing how it reflected a lot inside my life now. But I also now the thing is, if had I known the past life shit, I could have avoided that shit. A part of me really wishes that I did, but the other part knows goddamn well why I had to go through that and how that built me into who I am now. Because back in the past, I got built a certain kind of way because of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even the problems that I face with my parents, you know what I'm saying? I mean, now shit's pretty much copacetic with them, right? Well, my dad's dead, so it's like shit has to be copacetic, you know what I'm saying? Cause like he knows way more now since he's dead and on the other side of things, you know what I'm saying? I talk to that man a lot, but with my mom and shit, like I know how to handle my mom because like not handle, but I know how to work with my mom because certain issues that we had came from past life stuff, you know what I'm saying? A lot, nigga, all the bonds with my friends always can be traced back to a past life. All my issues always go back to a past life. You could always see these things when you understand your past lives. So here is how past lives relate to the physical. Number one, you understand better how you relate to people and why. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if you're like, let's say you have a lot of Syrian past lives, right? I know somebody who's just like this. If you have a lot of Syrian past lives, right, especially as like a water being, it's like you may communicate a bit more emotionally. You know what I'm saying? You may not always have intellectual words. If you're an avian though, or an Arcturian, you may be a bit more intellectual and less emotional. Not saying that Arcturians don't have emotional intelligence. Arcturians actually have very high emotional intelligence. But on Earth, it could just manifest as pure intellect without the emotional aspect. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you could be a bit more intellectual because of your past lives. You know what I'm saying? You may communicate more of emotion and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's say that you're white right now. Let's say you're a white person, but you have mad past lives in Africa. You may just be drawn to black people. You know what I'm saying? You don't know why, but you kind of just feel like you're black. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, yo, like I feel more drawn to black people. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're white as hell. So it's like And there's no racism inside that. I have mad white friends, bro. I ain't gonna cap. I love my white friends. I love my black friends. I have all, nigga, I have Asian friends, bro. I have all kinds of friends, bro. You know what I'm saying? And even that, I can see why how it relates to past lives. But long story short, you see how you relate to people and why. Like, why do I talk like this? Why can I not talk like this? Why don't I like those kinds of people? Why do I love these kinds of people? You kind of understand that way more, right? You also understand your role more on earth and why you even take on that role. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of people want to find out why they're here. Your past lives will show that. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, there are some past lives where it's like you're never gonna do that shit ever again. But it's like the common past lives you tap into usually always tie into life right now. I'm going to explain that more when it comes to common ways that past lives pop up, because when past lives pop up, it's usually always in a way that relates to your current lifetime now. Even when I do readings, right? The past lives that come through are always the strongest ones that you bring into this life, because your soul, like your eternal spirit, right, on a 7D level, really, if you don't understand the different densities of consciousness of 1 through 12 and stuff like that, I have several different powerpoints on Patreon. But inside this series, when it comes to your awakening, inside this series, the whole awakening to your spiritual nature, I have a video about your soul versus your eternal spirit inside this playlist. So go check that out, because on a 7D level, right, your eternal spirit is like eternal, it's infinite. So like it's experienced many different past lives. But when you make this 5D temporal soul, you only decide to bring in certain past lives that relate to your life right now. So it's like when you understand these past lives, you understand more about your role on earth and why you even came here on the earth. That's a big thing I talk about when it comes to the Galactic Akashic readings and Akashic Soul readings. I always relate to, okay, you have these past lives and these gifts, but here's how they also affect your mission on the earth and why you even came here. You know what I'm saying? When you understand your past life roles more, you understand how they all combine inside this earthly role right here. You see what I'm saying? You also understand the inherent things you're gifted in, along with how to work through certain difficulties and traumas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you understand, like, oh, I like music because I was in serious doing some music shit. Oh, nigga, I like to motherfucking build shit because I was a fucking Arcturian architect. Or shit, I was a fucking construction worker. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I like to build shit. 'Cause back in my past life in fucking Asia, I built my own mansion there. You know what I'm saying? Like you just understand, like you understand why you're gifted with certain shit. You know what I'm saying? You could be a very hands-on man inside this life because you were very hands-on inside past lives. You know what I'm saying? You might be a person who just attracts people to you all the time because back in the past you were some type of fucking seductress or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you just understand why you have these gifts, and you also understand why you have you also understand why you have certain difficulty and certain traumas inside your life, and also how to actually work through them. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, with my ex, right? I could have went through that shit and be like, damn, bro, that shit fucked me up. But it's like because I see the past life shit, I see like, oh, when I went through that, I did this to get over it, and I became this kind of person. So I could just sulk like, oh, that bullshit happened, or I could see why it happened and then actually make the change that it actually made me. I could make the change that it made me make in some of my past lives. You know what I'm saying? Shit with your parents, right? You may be like, damn, bro, like I hate this fucking difficulty that I have with them. When you see the past lives, you understand, damn, I have it for this reason, and I worked through it by doing X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? So like, not only do you see your traumas, you also understand how you work through them. You know what I'm saying? And why they're so important inside your life. Even if it's like sexual trauma, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that's why I have that certain type of sexual trauma. I could work through it if I understand how I did it back in the past. You know what I'm saying? So you also see all that. You also see how a lot of your life right now is actually reflected through your past life experiences. Whether it be your relationships right now, whether it be your work and business situations, it could be your difficult times and painful experiences. It could also be your joyful experiences, right? Like, why do you even like feel happy when you do certain shit? Like, some people, right, feel happy around water. Other people fucking hate the water. Want to know the difference? One person was in Sirius on a water planet and they fucking love the water. Someone was inside of Mintaka and they fucking love the water. Somebody else in the past life got ate by a fucking shark inside the water. Now they fucking hate the water and they have no idea why. some people don't like fucking like some niggas may fucking love the birds. Oh my god, the bird's so beautiful. Well, yeah, you were an avian inside your past life. Some people fucking hate birds because you was battling avians. You was battling avians back in your past lives. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas may love reptilians because they were a reptilian before. Some niggas may hate reptiles because they used to battle reptilians. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for example, my dad had a pet reptile. He was a reptilian before, you know what I'm saying? Nigga had a pet lizard, you know what I'm saying? And I had a when I grew up I had a pet frog, lizard, and a turtle. You know what I'm saying? And I actually love those beings very much. I love turtle beings. I love frog beings, and I fuck with lizards too. You know what I'm saying? Cause like geckos are so fucking cool. Like when you talk to the ET geckos, bro, they could do like this thing. Yo, watch the movie The Tomorrow Job. I think that's what it's called. It shows you how they operate. They could like swap places with their past. They can make their past self come inside this version. They can make this version go back to the past. It's so cool how geckos can operate, bro. Chameleons and shit. Oh my god, chameleons are so cool. They could vibrate. Chameleons could vibrate at different frequencies that can make them go to different points of time and space. You know what I'm saying? They could also embody different parts of themselves from different timelines off their vibration. Like, oh my god. And I fucking love those beings, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I actually could see why I actually feel so happy around that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So you also like not only do you understand why you have difficult times and the painful experiences, you also see why you have the joyful ones too. You know what I'm saying? You also see why you have certain habits and way of life. For example, my Arcturian side is very neat. It loves to have shit in order. Like my mom is big Arcturian, bro, and she be having the house in order. She loves that shit. But on the other flip side, on my dragon side, I'm more of a flowy ass nigga, and I don't really care how shit is. So it's like, nigga, my room will go from fucking messy as shit to fucking clothes everywhere. But it's like when my room is messy, I know where everything is at. Under that, if I look under my shirt, I'm gonna find my fucking wallet. If I look under those pants over there, I'm gonna find my fucking pencils. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I also get very annoyed. Like, oh, this shit is horrible. Let me fucking get my shit right. So it's like my different past lives even affect my common habits when it comes to my fucking room and how the fuck my room looks. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and you also understand. By the way, I'm a messy. I'm not no dirty nigga. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna find no fucking food inside my shit. Like, nah. But I will be having clothes over there. My fucking drawers are unorganized, but I know where everything's at still. You know what I'm saying? On like just on some naturally, just like go with the flow type shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you also understand the common ways of life that you have. You know what I'm saying? It's like you understand why you like a certain kind of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wanna, you may wanna fucking for example, me going with the flow. I don't like sometimes I plan a whole bunch of shit on that Arcturian shit, but on my dragon side, I'm like I just go with the flow, nigga. I just go like, cause especially with certain dragon forms that I have, like my purple dragon, right? It's very intuitive, so it's like I don't have to think about certain shit. I kind of just operate off my intuition, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes with my Arcturian side, I'll plan out my whole entire life. That is like, bro, I had my life planned out for like the next 2 years and then five, you know what I'm saying? But even with that, I just make the plan and I just go off the flow with it, you know what I'm saying? So I actually mix my different ways of life pretty well, you know what I'm saying? I'm also very playful, you know what I'm saying? I love to play around and have fun and joke around. That's my Lyran side, you know what I'm saying? I see why I do these things, right? Now, here are common ways that past lives pop up. One of the main ones that people don't peep is through their dreams, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know I have an astral projection course, you know what I'm saying? I have different people taking that shit, and a lot of them experience their past lives through their dreams. They don't even fucking realize that shit. Like one person didn't realize that shit at all. You know what I'm saying? And then more people was living that out and asking me about that. Like, yo, I had a dream about X, Y, and Z. I'm like, nigga, that's your past life shit popping up right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's actually very common that past lives come inside your dreams because this often happens when like oftentimes inside your life, you're going through some shit that reflects past lives. And therefore when you're dreaming inside the astral, you actually live out these past lives without even always knowing it. And that's also because sometimes since your brain cannot always interpret some of the, like for example, let's say you were fucking inside of these wars when you're a fucking librarian, but you're fighting reptilians, right? Your brain may not fucking show you as a cat being fighting reptilians because sometimes if you like, sometimes if some of y'all had a dream and y'all saw these big ass reptilians, you would fucking freak the fuck out. So your brain just shows you certain aggressive ass people, and you may feel like a fucking child, a soft ass. Like for me, right? I'll live out past lives where I'm fighting reptilians, right? And I'm inside slavery. You know what I'm saying? And inside these dreams, it's like I'll be trapped. I'll be trapped inside of a basement, and I kind of feel like I'm a fucking kid. And there's all these like bigger people around me who keep me trapped. And it's like I try to. There's these bigger people who keep me trapped, and I have to find out how to escape. I've had so many dreams like this, bro. Nowadays I don't have that shit no more because I kind of like broke out. Cause I actually remember having the dreams of breaking out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I kind of like already relived that shit. But back in the past, I didn't know why the fuck I was having those dreams, bro. Of being like a little ass kid, being locked up, and all these bigger adults are just keeping me enslaved. You know what I'm saying? Now I see what the fuck it is, and it's like because I'm more open to that shit, I can actually see the actual way that it looks with me being a small ass feline being trapped by these big ass reptilians. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you actually get that course, you're probably gonna experience your past lives without even trying to. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? They'll also pop up through other people. Like you'll oftentimes meet people inside your life because you're inside that phase of your life right now. You know what I'm saying? For example, as I become more Anunnaki, I meet people from my Anunnaki past lives. You know what I'm saying? I meet different girls I've been with, or I meet different friends that I used to work with and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like certain people pop up because inside your life, you're kind of reliving that past life inside your life right now. You know what I'm saying? Especially with how I've been rapping a lot more, right? A lot of I've been like I meet a lot of musical. I've been meeting a lot of people who like do music because back when I was in Anunnaki, we was doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And when I tap into that, you know what I'm saying, that's what happens. Sometimes I meet different like reptilian based people from my reptilian past lives when I'm inside that energy, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they pop up through other people too. Like the people that you meet are like most of the time is not no random shit, bro. Especially if y'all develop a certain kind of bond or you feel like a natural draw to them, that shit is not random at all, you know what I'm saying? So it's like different people pop up when you're going through certain shit inside your life that reflects the past life stuff also. That's why inside my readings, bro, like people be asking me about certain people inside my readings, and it's like, oh yeah, like I'm like, send me a picture real quick. I'm like, oh yeah, you knew them from X, Y, and Z. And inside their life, they're dead ass reliving that past life right now. Like your past lives, oh, I'm telling you, they always relate to your life right now. Because the thing is, right, so your 7D eternal spirit, right, splits off into a 6D architectural spirit, right? Inside the 6D, you make your timeline for Earth. When you make this timeline, you're pulling from influences from your past lives, dead ass. And when this architectural spirit makes your timeline, it also interweaves it with other people's timelines too that you're gonna meet on the Earth. So it's like best believe that what you live right now did come from your past lives. I could help you guys see that more inside of a certain kind of reading. If you guys want a reading, links down below. But you know what I'm saying? Enough of that promoting shit. Dead ass. It's like you'll meet people at the right time because you're going through that shit inside your life right the fuck now. You know what I'm saying? Of course, past lives pop up through your hard times, right? Most, if not all, your difficulties can be traced back to a past life, even if it's financial. Like for example, you could have financial issues because back in the past you never felt secure with inside of your way of life. Even if you like, let's say you were a fucking alien, right? Who didn't even have money. You know what I'm saying? However, the currency back then could have been like fucking seashells, right? Inside those past lives, you never had enough seashells. So inside this life, you don't got enough money. You know what I'm saying? It's like your past lives will also affect the hard times you have now, even on the most mundane levels. You see what I'm saying? Let's say you have anorexia issues, right? Well, shit, back in past lives, you may not have even fucking ate food like that. You just fucking ate fucking bioluminescent ether before. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you're not really used to eating physical food like that. Now you have anorexia. You know what I'm saying? Or you could have just had bodily issues because, let's say, back in the past, you never identified with your body. So it's like now you're here, and you're like, I don't really identify with this body right now. You know what I'm saying? So the hard times on the most mundane levels will like I know a homie that has autism, right? And she has struggled with communication because on her Syrian shit, they didn't really use like they just communicate on frequency more, right? It's more frequency based. So it's like trying to put that shit into words could be hard sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Also, understanding social cues, right? It can be hard to understand social cues if back in the past there were no social cues. It was just you just feel the vibration, you just know what the fuck's going on. On Earth though, there's social cues. You may like if she watches this video, you know I'm talking about you. You know what I'm saying? Some people may know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So it's like that's like a real issue, bro. Like it could seem so mundane, but it goes back to past lives. You know what I'm saying? Your past lives also pop up through your different passions, through different habits, as well as your common thoughts and emotions. For example, let's say that inside your life you always feel unappreciated. You could have past lives where you felt the same exact way. You could have had an earthly experience, right? Where like let's say you were a part of a fucking Egyptian royal family, right? But you didn't really vibrate with the family like that. You kind of felt like I just want to do my human, regular, mundane shit, and they're saying, no, you gotta be a fucking wizard and tap into your wizard shit. And it's like whenever you tried to just be like a regular person, be like, hey, let me just serve you some food real quick. They're like, nigga, fuck that food, nigga, wizard shit. Now you feel unappreciated, right? That same shit could pop up. That same stuff could pop up inside this life right now. So your common feelings, let's say it could be anger. You may have been a fucking warrior in your past lives. And you were always angry as shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're like for example, Lyrans, right? Now let's do reptilians because Lyrans can have anger also, but I want to do reptilians more. Reptilians will struggle with anger. That's just there's no ifs ands or buts about that. You know what I'm saying? With me, I struggle with fucking anger a lot because in my past lives I had a lot of anger for various different things. Whether it was Lyran shit, reptilian shit, nigga. Like your common thoughts and emotions will be based upon that. You know what I'm saying? You may always think about being somewhere else because you were actually in that place back in past lives. You know what I'm saying? Your different passions, your different hobbies, your different habits. These will all reflect your past lives. You know what I'm saying? So this actually helps with awakening your past lives because it's like so I have two more sections: how to begin awakening them, and also how to regain the abilities and work through the karmas. You know what I'm saying? So how do you begin awakening to them, right? Ask yourself what you're drawn to and why. Look at different cultures, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's past stuff or like it could be Mayan shit or it could be modern day Japan shit, you know what I'm saying? Look at different cultures and see what you feel drawn to. You don't feel drawn to it for no fucking reason now. Like that's come on now. Like let's stop thinking that cuz there's a reason why you're drawn to the Mayans but your friends drawn to Egypt but not the Mayans whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like even like for example, you could actually have a sibling and y'all grew up damn near the same exact way, but you guys like different shit. Nigga, look at really think about that. Why am I drawn to this? What am I drawn to? And what about it am I drawn to? You know what I'm saying? And why might I be drawn to that? Look at different alien cultures, you know what I'm saying? Even if you don't understand the culture, just hearing like some people just hear the name Arcturus and like, yo, I fucking feel drawn to Arcturus. You were an Arcturian before, you know what I'm saying? Look at different roles inside life. Doctors, nurses, construction workers, fucking firemen, fucking police, assassins. You know what I'm saying? Look at these different jobs and roles inside your life and feel what you're naturally drawn to. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm about to be a teacher's assistant because nigga, I was a teacher back in my past lives and I did work with kids back in my past lives too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like look at these different roles and think about like, damn, why do I feel drawn to doctors? Like, I don't want to be a doctor, but I could, but you could be like, I don't want to be a doctor, but I just feel drawn to doctors for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all might actually want to be a doctor or a fucking lawyer because you had past lives doing that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Look at different people you're drawn to. Notice if you have a certain kind of type of people, because I've noticed this in my life, bro. I always am drawn, especially if it comes to like more like lovey-dovey relationship based stuff, bro. Lyran and Syrians, I'm always like people who have Lyran heritage, but they also have Syrian stuff too. I'm always drawn to them, bro. Like always, because that's my past lives. It's like I have heavy Lyran heritage, but I was always in Sirius too. So it's like I love those kinds of beings, right? You may notice that you are very drawn to very aggressive people, whether it be on a relationship basis or like a friendly basis, because back in past lives you could have been around mad reptilians, so now you like aggressive people. You know what I'm saying? it's like really just like why am I like be like what am I drawn to and why? You know what I'm saying? Look at your life and also notice common patterns and then contemplate how it might relate to past life experience. Like for example, you may go through the same heartbreak over and over again. Really think about why that might be. Like, it's probably some past life shit there. You know what I'm saying? When if you guys ever book a session with me, you could always ask these different things like, "Yo, bro, I've been going through X, Y, and Z. Why do you think that is?" Oh, make sure that you actually look at the because I have two. So I have Akashic Soul readings and Galactic Akashic readings too. But even with that, I have different. Like I have one that's 30 minutes and one that's an hour. They both offer different things. Obviously, the 1 hour one includes more things because it's like a longer time, so I can include more shit. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you look at if you are gonna book, make sure to actually look at what you're booking and what you're gonna get out of the session. Because I do include what every session includes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like look at common patterns, bro. Even if it's like certain happy shit, like why do I love these kinds of friends? You know what I'm saying? Or why do I like want to fucking always fucking dance? You know what I'm saying? Syrians used to dance a lot, so you may just like to dance. You know what I'm saying? Because you were Syrian before. Shit, you may do some fucking Hawaiian shit because you was fucking in Hawaii before. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how is this some Hawaiian shit? I don't fucking know. I'm just doing some bullshit. But yeah, bro, look at these different patterns inside your life and just be like, damn, like, why do I do this shit? Like, why do I feel drawn to this and why do I feel drawn to this? You know what I'm saying? Because these patterns come from past lives, dead ass, bro. It's not no random shit, you know what I'm saying? And here is how to actually regain your abilities and work through the karmas, right? Number one, meditate, because once you understand, like, oh, I feel drawn to Mayans because I was actually out. I feel drawn to Mayans because I was a Mayan before. Okay, meditate on that past life self and literally ask it to teach you. Like something that's big with me is the fact that I can talk to a person's past higher self. Like you have like different higher selves and you have the highest self. I'll probably make a whole entire separate video on that with inside this series, but long story short, right? You have different past versions of yourself that have ascended very high in consciousness, right? And these past versions of yourself still are alive within inside your soul, which means that you can actually talk to them right now. You can meditate, be like, yo, let me talk to my fucking Mayan self. Let me talk to my Antorian self. And literally ask them to teach you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you realize that, holy shit, I know for a fact that back in the past I was a fucking healer. Okay, channel your healer self and then ask it to teach you. Like, yo, how did you learn how to heal? What did you do in order to learn how to heal? You know what I'm saying? If it was a fucking dragon before and has a fucking firepower, okay, ask the dragon how to activate the firepower. Dead ass meditate on this past life and literally ask him to teach you. You know what I'm saying? You could also meditate and ask for visions of the different past lives, right? Okay, maybe you don't want to talk to the past life, but be like, yo, let me actually see what I did, right? Like instead of having that higher self teach you, you could simply ask it or just ask your mind to show you what that higher self went through. You know what I'm saying? Ask for different visions. Ask what you learned and also ask about different things you need to overcome. Believe it or not, bro, you'll get an answer pretty fucking quick if you're simply just open. Like you may think it's just you talking, but it's like even if it's just you talking, why did you decide to say that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like for let's say you're like, bro, what past life trauma do I have? And then inside your head you say, oh, sexual. You may think like, oh, I'm just saying that. You could have said so many things. Why'd you pick sexual? Why didn't you pick fucking the fear of drowning? You know what I'm saying? Like even when you think I'm just making that up, nigga, why would your mind choose to make up that specific thing? Even with a certain vision, I'm just fantasizing that. Nigga, with that vision, why the fuck do you think your fucking mind would make that vision out of all visions? Now, granted, sometimes, for example, you could have. Sometimes, if you have an ego, you could be like, "Oh, I see a vision of me being a fucking amazing, powerful ass king." It's like, okay, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, slow your roll. Like some of y'all, some a lot of people was kings and queens, bro. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And some of y'all may even have been that, but it's like your ego kind of doesn't understand it. Therefore, you kind of twist it up inside your mind. It's like, yeah, you were a king, but not how you think you were before. So ego definitely can get involved. That's why it's good to meditate and then become the observer. Because when you become the observer, by the way, I have videos on my channel about meditation. So it's like I teach how to do that shit anyway. But it's like when you actually meditate and become the observer, right? You're detaching from your character. You're detaching from your beliefs. You're just becoming the observer. And when you become the observer, you can simply just ask a question and observe what the fuck pops up without any judgment. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, some shit could be some cocky ego shit, like, oh, like I just want to be a fucking powerful ass god. Now I see a powerful ass god, like, okay, slow your roll, buddy. Slow your roll. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, even with your ego wanting to be a god, that can be because you have certain god-like past lives, but you're kind of confusing it with your ego understanding. So there definitely is like nuance to this, right? Some shit will be tainted by the ego, but it's like even if it's tainted by the ego, it's like there's still a certain reason why it's there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So there's probably something there to it, even if it's slightly tainted by ego. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, when it comes to your different painful experiences, that is the one that your ego is not going to taint as much because let's be real, your ego wants to be important most of the time, right? Nigga, if you ask yourself what trauma do I have, and then you hear, oh, you got raped. I'm not gonna say the actual word, but let's say raped, right? Let's say you got raped in a past life, right? I'm pretty sure that your ego is not gonna want to fucking admit to that shit anyway. So if that's what the fuck pops up, you could probably take this as a fucking fact. Like when it comes to like the more painful shit, I would trust that way more because it's like your ego doesn't always want to even accept the pain anyway. So it's like, why the fuck would you make up some painful bullshit? You know what I'm saying? And then also, last thing, I recommend watching different movies and or reading books that reflect your different past lives. For example, if you were a fucking assassin before, watch some assassin movies. Holy fucking shit. Nigga. Whoa, I said that because nigga, I was watching the movie yesterday and I'm remembering I'm remembering because when I was watching that movie, I knew goddamn well why I was watching it on some past life shit. But I forgot all about this. But literally in the astro last night, I was living out certain shit that was kind of similar to the movie because I was reliving my past lives. Like, of course, watching the movie does influence it, right? But I wasn't dead ass living out the fucking movie. It was some whole other shit that kind of somehow tied into the movie a little bit. I just remember that shit inside my head. But long story short, yeah, watch movies. And like watch like let's say you were a fucking witch before. Watch some witch movies and or read some witch books. You know what I'm saying? Let's say back in the past you were inside of a fucking advanced as tech. Let's say in a past life you were inside of a very technologically advanced city, right? Watch watch movies that deal with that type of shit, that deal with advanced technology. Read books about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's actually good to like, cause even though the movie will not be exactly what you live through, it kind of gives you a sense of, oh, being an assassin is kind of like this, so I better operate it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you watch these things, it kind of gives you that inspiration to understand it even more than meditate on it. And it's like, and because you watch that thing, you can actually now have dreams that, like I said with me, right? Last night I didn't actually live out the fucking movie, but there was certain shit from the movie that tied into what I went through inside the past lives, also inside the astral. And what I'm trying to say is the fact that because you watched a certain movie, your mind can pull pieces from that movie to make you have a dream where you understand the past life shit even more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these are different ways to act. Now I do have a PowerPoint on Patreon about tapping into your galactic shit. You know what I'm saying? So you can check that out on my PowerPoint section, right? I have different sections on Patreon. You know what I'm saying? You could also just book a session with me and stuff like that. During the session, I literally teach how to tap into your stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing I talk about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, past lives are important, but you shouldn't get lost inside them. You know what I'm saying? You should understand them and then always relate them back to the present experience, which is what I do inside my sessions all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like in my sessions, you're gonna get that crazy, oh my god, that's so crazy. But it's like, yeah, that's super crazy. Here is how it relates to life. And you can even make your life more crazy based upon this shit, but crazy in a good way. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, I'm gonna end the video here. I love you all. I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Peace out.